King Von's lyrics were a reflection of his life, from rapping about killing a female assassin to dissing NBA YoungBoy and claiming that he slept with his baby mama. These are some of the crazy incidents he rapped about and really happened. FBG Wooski attempted murder. One of King Von's favorite ops was FBG Wooski. The two would go back and forth on social media, taunting each other with death. In one tweet, Wooski told V, "You gon' fall," as well. V replied that Wooski would get killed before him, not before you. Though Von tweeted, "Unfortunately, Wooski would get shot first," and V was quick to diss him in his music. The track Back Again, Von WS shoot up everybody. That's outside. Bet Wookie feel this one. I bet Wookie still twitching. He changed something different. And grandson for President Von WSW. Why got shot now? He taking medicine. Von was speaking on the 2018 shooting during a funeral where WY was shot in the head. And according to many people, WY has never been the same. Since the incident in 2018, one of Wooski's friends, rapper Vanera Chris alias D-Thang, was shot and killed by an op. After his death, Von fast-timed WY to brag and tell him he was in for a surprise. We go surprise.
Learned a little bit more about the victims this afternoon. There were a total of 6 people who were shot outside the church. It was a pandemonium, a scene of pandemonium right after that happened. Many of those people who were shot were leaving a funeral inside the church.
Being a L figure in the community, all block members knew that Du's funeral would be jam-packed with ops, making it a perfect opportunity to strike, which they did on the afternoon of the 17th of October. All hell broke out at Doki's funeral. We've learned a little bit more about the victims this afternoon. There were a total of 6 people who were shot outside the church. It was a pandemonium, a scene of pandemonium. Right after that happened, many of those people who were shot were leaving a funeral inside the church. During the funeral, a car pulled up. Men jumped out and opened fire on the mourners. Some of the gang members mourning their fallen soldier, including Wookie, also pulled out their firearms and shot back. Unfortunately, Wookie was shot in the head and fell to the ground as the shooters got back in their getaway car and sped off. Wookie was not the only one shot, as 6 other people also sustained gunshot wounds. Luckily, everyone survived, including Wookie, who was shot in the head. Wookie is still alive and outlived V, as he had promised. Back in 2012, during their Twitter exchange, Tuka's murder, Chanel Gregor, alias Tuka, has become famous nationwide because of the ongoing gang war in Chicago. Numerous rappers have dissed him in their songs, and King Von wasn't left behind in the track. For a fact, Von WS caught that boy right by that bus. This is last stop. Tuka was among the first teens killed in the Chicago gang war in 2011. The events leading up to the tragic shooting of Tuka began on a seemingly ordinary evening in the Woodlawn neighborhood of Chicago. It was January 12, 2011, and as the clock approached 6:45 p.m., 15-year-old Chanel Gregory found himself at a bus stop on the 500 block of East 63rd Street. Little did he know this would be the last place he would ever stand. Tuka wasn't alone that evening and was accompanied by 2 friends waiting for the westbound 63rd Street bus. As Tuka and his friends waited, a man approached them. He seemed harmless, at first asking if another bus was coming. Question was simple, almost routine, but it was a start to something far more sinister. The man's demeanor didn't indicate the violence he was about to unleash. Without warning, the man walked behind the bus shelter in a matter of seconds. He pulled out a silver handgun. The man aimed the gun at Tuka and fired a single shot. The bullet struck the young boy, causing him to stagger. Tuka staggered towards a nearby trash can in a desperate attempt to escape, but the gunman was relentless. He followed Tuka and with chilling precision shot him 3 more times in the back. The sound of gunfire drew immediate attention. Within moments, police and emergency responders arrived at the scene. Tuka lay motionless. His life ended in a matter of moments. The paramedics quickly assessed the situation, but it was too late. Tuka was pronounced dead at the scene. Lil Mark's murder. Tuka isn't the only one who would lose his life at a bus stop. Mark Campbell, alias Lil Mark, suffered a similar fate, and V couldn't help but diss him in his tracks. In January 2019, King Von and Memo 600 collaborated on their track exposing me where they took a swipe at several of their ops, including Lil Mark on the track. Von raps, I'm tired of smelling Tuka and Lil Mark, and I'm tired of scrap. I'm thinking about creating a new pack. It turns out Lil Mark had also dropped a disc on his ops before he was killed. On March 25, 2014, Lil Mark dropped a diss track titled No Competition. The song was Boy First V tweeted, wouldn't believe the female I just made a hit with. Later photos of him and YoungBoy's baby mama, Jonia, emerged on the internet. Rumors spread that Jonia and V did not make music when they met, but slept together. Jonia took to Instagram to clear her name, stating that they only made music as she was trying to get money for her child.
Like I said, I don't fuck with no nigga. I've been working. We have a song coming out. Y'all wasn't supposed to know, but fuck, it is what it is now. We have a song coming out. So when the song come out, y'all gonna fuck with.
Asian, seemingly angry, took to her Instagram to confirm the rumors. She said she had seen the DMS between the two, and that the music excuse was a lie. However, the damage was already done. YoungBoy had already gotten wind of the rumor and had taken it as disrespect. He posted a photo on Instagram with the caption, I'm going to make sure my son F your daughter, since you trolling bit young boys seem to have the last laugh, as industry rumor had it that Asian cheated on V with YoungBoy. One of the best pieces of evidence was when YoungBoy messaged his producer using Asian's IG account. This was only 2 days before Von's tragic passing. YoungBoy would have the last laugh, because on January 14, 2022, he broke the internet after releasing his song Bring the Hook In. The song he dissed the late King Vo and his entire gang Block. In the song's lyrics, NBA YoungBoy makes fun of King Von's death. This, that, Squid Game, Block pack, get rolled up murder. What they told us, Atlanta boy, get folded up. Luckily this diss track didn't spark another gang war. Troy's murder. For a long time, V and his best friend Troy lived by the gun and killed multiple ops. Their time was bound to come. While both are now dead, T-Roy was shot and killed first, and King Von gave him shoutouts in his music in the track. All these niggas Von RS, look how you feel for real. My best friend, he got killed on Valentine's Day in 2017. Tesla Roy was out doing what he loved the most, catching ops lacking and spraying them with bullets. On this day, one op in particular was on his radar. This was none other than TB from Ton World. For extra context, TB had dropped a diss track just 1 month earlier where he had taken shots at all his ops, including Block. T-Roy, as fearless as he always was, went to search for TB in the 2000 block of East 71st Street in the South Shore neighborhood, where TB was known to frequent the area a lot, and T-Roy was hoping to use the element of surprise to finish him off as Troy and his friends strolled through the streets. His ops, T and Can't Get Right, were hot on their trail. From the footage, TB and Can't Get Right played the reverse card and were scanning the streets searching for Troy. T-Roy and his associate went into a store on 7th Street. He had just a few minutes left to live inside the store. He was on one of the aisles having a conversation with his associate. Seconds later, CCTV footage showed TB and Can't Get Right walking into the store and toward their rivals. TB's right hand was slightly behind him, concealing a firearm. It was unlike T-Roy to get caught lacking. He must have thought that it was a verbal confrontation that would maybe end up in fists, since if TB wanted to gun him down, he could have waited for him to walk outside, as most hits often happen, or TB would have straight up shot him the moment he walked in. However, he walked towards him as if he wanted to talk. Suddenly, TB raised his pipe and started letting off shots, hitting Troy, who then dropped to the floor. Troy was then taken to Northwestern Memorial Hospital, where he succumbed to his gunshot wound. Famous rappers who were close to him were shocked and took to Twitter to express their sadness, from Lil Durk and Lil Reese to 600 Breezy and Chief Keef. It did not take long for Troy's death to be avenged, as T was gunned down by Troy's brother Headshot King aka HK. The cycle of violence would continue, as HK was also later killed by Woy and other Twill members. FBG Wooski hides from V. Wookie and V often got into it on X. One time, Wookie tweeted, King Von, you were scared to walk in the store. You looked me in my eye. V replied saying LOL. Onetta B, y'all locked the door when I tried to come back in, and you got up and went behind your guys. The two were talking about a time when V ran into Wookie at a store in 63rd Street. Rumor has it that Wookie saw V and ran into the store to hide from his eye. V couldn't fight him because Wookie hid behind his guys in the store. And in one of his songs, V revealed that he didn't shoot up the store because he didn't have his ski mask in the track on your ass Vaughn. WPS, I saw him at the store, but I ain't have my mask this the last time that the ops getting a pass. But this wasn't the time Vaughn and WY would meet in the streets. One time they threw hands.
Interview somebody, man, and they was telling me about a time when you and Vaughn got in a fight in front of Oba.
When we walked on Kings Drive and they was standing right there and the police and shit pulled up and they thought they was just gonna stand right there. We got the whooping their ass. Me and him got the fighting, then some other mob came and jumped in and the police came, broke the fight up. We all got up out of there.
According to WY, he and his friend were strolling around Ook when they spotted Vaughn. WY got into a fight with V before a fourth person joined in to help V. However, the cops were at the scene.
Wooski can't tell y'all I beat his ass one day. He ain't tell y'all that he too dumb to remember. I punched his ass up.
However, King Von had a different version of events. According to him, he beat up Wooski. Hey, tell why beat his ass one day. He tell that he to do even remember I punched his up. FBG Duck's murder. FBG Duck was shot and killed at Michigan Avenue in East Oak Street in the Gold Coast area of Chicago on the 4th of August 2021. Month later, King Von released the track GT dissing FBG Duck. In the track Von rap, he made a diss and now he a ghost, and it happened fast. We need to toast. FBG Duck's murder was caught on camera, and the details were horrifying. CCTV footage showed a black car stop in front of a store, and armed men jump out and immediately start letting off shots as Duck tries to escape in vain. They then jump back in the black vehicle, and a gray Chrysler, which was also involved in the crime, sped away, leaving Duck to die. More footage showed the gray Chrysler pulling up to O Block with a cop car in pursuit. As weeks turned into months, the police worked tirelessly piecing together surveillance footage, eyewitness accounts, and social media activity. The breakthrough came when investigators discovered a digital breadcrumbs trail linking the crime to the O Block gang. Social media posts boasting about the attack, coupled with video evidence that placed suspects at the scene, began to paint a damning picture. It turns out FBG Duck was killed for dissing T-Roy.
Stuff like that. I don't know. Okay. All I know, don't say that about Troy or rest in peace, Duck. Don't say about Troy. That's it.
In the track Exposing Me remix, FBG Duck raps T-Roy ain't get shot inside his head, but he ain't make it, though they got so many dead. I don't know who to smoke. B would confront Duck in his DMS, saying, I'm really helping you out, you feel me, cause you ain't hitting on nothing now, mother talking about you. You feel me, you welcome. Goofy Duck would later rap, calling him a fan. You really needed to mention me for your to-do numbers like all your other silly boy. I've been a topic. You know that just say you a fan. LBD. Duck didn't stop there as he put out Dead Mates in July 2020, where he continued dissing O Block in the track Duck Raps Made Chicago Legends. That was just about business, said, I wasn't going to diss the dead and okay, I did it. But T-Roy and owed them dead. This must have broken the camel's back. As a few weeks later in July 2020, FBG Duck was shot and killed. The rapper was gunned down at Michigan Avenue in East Oak Street in the Gold Coast area of Chicago. And as it turns out, King Von may have put out a $100,000 beat for Duck to be killed. FBG Brick's murder. Before FBG Duck was shot and killed his brother, FBG Brick was gunned down by his ops, and Von jumped on a record to dissing on the track, pressing Von WS, I mean a switch, I can shoot a brick, and they still say I hit, I mean they hit. They caught that brick and hit him in his. On July 17, 2017, FBG Brick and his cousin and Kobe Mack were in the Wood Law neighborhood when a car pulled up looking for FBG Duck, but left after they couldn't find.
So they were standing out there and this block was full of people. And the story that I'm hearing was a car pulled up and asked for Duck. Like, yo, Duck out here? And everybody looking like, who is you? They didn't recognize who was in the car.
Later at around 2:50 p.m., Shots rang out. Police were called to the 6300 block of South St. Lawrence, where they discovered a horrifying scene. Kobe Mack lay in front of a home with a gunshot wound to the head, while FBG Brick was found in the back gangway, suffering from gunshot wounds to the back and arm.
They instantly shot Kobe, and Brick tried to run and jump a gate and was shot in the back.
Both men were pronounced dead at the scene. Key's murder, one of V's fiercest ops, was the infamous female assassin Kikira Barnes alias Key, and when she was killed at 17 volts, was the main suspect years after her murder. Von dissed in the track War With Us, where he WS put a pretty op in a morgue call that Drop Dead Gorgeous. By the time she passed away, young Key had become a ruthless killer in the streets of Chicago. Key's mom believed that her daughter was a sweet, innocent girl.
I'm just gonna miss her presence. She was a very, very beautiful, well-known, lovely girl.
Rumor on the street has it that before she died, Key had murdered someone by the young age of 14 and might have been responsible for as many as 20 murders. Rumor had it that she was responsible for the murder of one of O Block's most feared, loved, and respected shooters. Oda Perry's murder rumor had it that the killer had stolen Odd's gun and posted photos brandishing the weapon on social media. It wasn't long before the rumor was attached to none other than Gyra Barnes. She also took to social media to diss Oda Perry, but she would also meet a similar fate as her victims. On April 11th, a hooded gunman shot Barnes in front of a home in the 6400 block of South Art Key, was hit 9 times in the mouth, neck, and chest before running and collapsing on a neighbor's doorstep and passing out. She later succumbed to her injuries at Northwestern Memorial Hospital. She walked with her brother FBG Buddha and a friend that day, stained gunshot wounds, but survived. V was arrested in connection with the shooting after eyewitnesses identified him. However, the police could not meet the burden of proof in court, so the charges were rejected because of the lack of solid evidence to convict V. Years later, after King Von died in a tragic shooting in Atlanta, reports started showing that V had indeed killed Key. However, Key's brother FBG Buddha, who was at the scene,
and what I know is, on my dead, Von didn't kill.
According to him, he saw the shooter and claims that the killer is already dead. I got shot too. I was right up. I got shot too. I saw the who pop as he did.
I got shot too. I was right there. I got shot too. I saw the motherfucker who popped us. He did.
Despite Butter not wanting to credit V with the hit, it's now an open secret that V didn't 69 snitches. One thing King Von hated was snitches and anyone who associated with him. So when 69 decided to cooperate and testify against his gang, Von was quick to let him and anyone who would associate with 69 know how he felt in the track Suspects. Von WS, really 69, really snitches with a rat, really tripping. On the 18th of November 2018, 69 and 4 other associates were arrested and charged with federal RICO and firearms charges, including conspiracy to commit murder and armed robbery, and faced up to life in prison. He admitted to being part of a violent sect of the Bloods, known as the 9 Trade Gangsters.
Were you a member of any gang?
Yes, sir.
What was the name of the gang that you were a member of?
The 9 Trade Bloods.
Audio from the rapper's court testimony also had him confessing to the various crimes that the gang engaged in, ranging from drugs to assault.
What sorts of things did 9 Trade members do?
We participated in a lot of, violent crimes. Robberies, assaults, drugs, sorts of that nature.
The rapper served a short jail sentence, and when he got out, no one wanted anything to do with him. Artists didn't want to be associated with him, while podcasts didn't want to give him any kind of platform. Popular hip-hop commentator DJ Academics revealed that 69 label 10K Projects tried to get him on an interview, but no one was willing to take the risk.
They called me back 5-6 days later. We tried to get him an interview with everybody for him to explain his side. Nobody wants to do it. I said, what? Nobody wants to touch it with a 10 feet.
However, Nicki Minaj decided to collaborate with the hip-hop outcast on the track Troll. This sent the industry crazy. As King Von jumped in to give his 2 cents on the whole situation, he went after Nicki, and it's safe to say that he had lost all respect for The female rapper damn, and I used to love Nicki Minaj. Read one tweet. I know so many. That'll do anything to make it go against every moral break, every code trade on every friend, just for a taste of the fast life, desperate, easily moved. Ask people, then get thee, and it don't even be worth all the lost and pain a mother rucker went through you chasing. That he added in another post. V lived what he rapped about, making him a fan favorite to some, but a monster to others. Whichever way you look at him, just remember to click on the boxes playing on your screen to watch similar content.